again, people of YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Inferno Remastered. We are doing Portal 2 Let's Build again. Now, this week's theme for Portal is just anything we want, basically. Rage just let us do whatever the hell we want. So I have decided to do an Inferno best of chamber. So I've just kind of combined the best bits from my previous chambers just to frustrate Rage. So let's get started. Let's create a new chamber and let's begin. Well, that was really quick loading. Right, here we go. First things first, as I always do, is is take all the portable surfaces away. In fact, no, I do use portals in this one. Okay. I was going to say, I thought it was a non-portable map again, like last week, but I've realised no, it's not. So my first chamber is from the original Tower of Frustration. It's actually the first chamber from there. Now, what I've done is Rage is going to try to double guess and think, oh, I've done this puzzle before, and think he knows the answers, but I'm going to completely change them. So actually, you'll see that from the first Tower of Frustration, if you've watched it, I set it so it looks like when he sets off Pacific buttons, it looks like the lasers are going to kill him. Which I'll show you guys in a second when they actually don't. So the first chamber, let's get my death water out. So let's move that back, and I need portable surface there. I need the good old wah 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 beam. Where have they gone? There's the wah 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 beam. And we need a cube. Here's the cube. There we are. So, in this chamber, we have a series of buttons. I think that was there actually. It was there. It might have been slightly different. Again, this might not be exactly how it turned out for Rage, but you'll be able to get the point. Portable. Nope, nope, nope. That's wrong. That one needs to be portable. That needs to be a button. So I had. Oh, this was also disappeared. Right. We have a death laser right in the middle of the map. So if he chooses the wrong button, this is going to kill him, and so he can't get away from the death laser in any way, shape or form. It covers the whole surface area which he can run on. There is a door moving on to the next section which needs to be opened. And right, oh, this is not a death laser. It must be a death laser, and it needs to be turned off. Turned off. There we go. Right, so the two things that I'm going to kill him on this level are the laser and a turret, which is going to be sat in behind here, and that's going to be behind a light bridge. So at first, it will not shoot Rage unless the light bridge is deactivated. Now, the way I tricked Rage last time was I had two more buttons. I had one here and one over there. Now last time the connections, so when you connect a button up, when I connect this to the laser, you have the connection button visible, so you can see what it's connected to. Now originally Rage saw what was connected to what, and saw the button that wasn't connected to nothing, and thought, well, this must be the correct button, which actually was connected to the death lasers. And it was actually one of the death lasers that looked like it was connected to the death lasers was the correct button. Now, I'm not going to show how I create the links, just because it's something I want to use again in the future, and I've got a feeling people might copy me. But in fact, the correct answer this time is everything is actually linked up correctly, because Rage is going to try to second guess me, and he's going to look at the one connected to the laser and he's going to go, I reckon that button's going to send me on to the next level, when actually that is connected to the laser. That is going to kill him. So for somebody who's like not played my maps, who play this map through, will quite easily guess the correct buttons throughout this map, but because Rage is going to be second guessing, I've set it so he's, by second guessing, he's going to be guessing wrong, which is why it's kind of my old tricks, but hopefully going to catch him out in a different way. So then after the first chamber, so there's going to be one button connected up to the beam bridge. So in fact I had the beam bridge on the other side, just so you could see the connection, like so. So some of them, I think these two are actually connected properly, so Death Laser and the beam bridge. So if he activated either one of those two, they're actually going to be the correct buttons, but he's not going to think that. And yeah, one of them is resets the cube, and the final one of them sends you on to the next chamber. Right, so once Rage has solved the first puzzle, which is actually going to be really easy for him because he's used the correct button, but he's probably not going to do that, or fingers crossed he won't. So he's either going to blast through this map and just get everything correct and forget it's an Inferno map, or he's going to try to double guess everything. I think by the end of it he might get the gists of what I've been trying to do and just be able to figure it out. I hope not, because one of my favourite traps is at the end, which I'll be making is the next trap after this one. So then I've taken something from, so the first one's the first chamber in my original Tower of Frustration. So the second chamber was from Mousetrap, I believe, just because that was the first map I think I won on. Yeah, it was the first map I won on Rage's channel. So I thought I think these are two puzzles from Mousetrap, both put together. So how did I do this? Drops down the hole. I'm sure I only had 3. That was 1, 2, and no, that's 4. They're in the wrong places. Must have been there. So you've got the first trap that was in Mousetrap, where you've got 3 different segments to walk across. Yeah, I think this was correct. Yes, this is correct. So one path is just going to trap him. One path is going to let him through. I think for some reason, yeah, I've done this. Just because there was, don't mind me. I set this so he had to walk across the middle block because I can't remember why. I had a button, a cube that did something there. So he's going to drop down to this chamber. He's going to have 3 choices to walk through. Now, 2 of them he'll be able to see the death lasers. Oops. I meant to do that because it needs to start turned off. So we can clearly see there's death lasers down there and down here with my trigger inputs. So just put those on there. So yeah, one of them is actually just going to do nothing. The laser's not going to turn on, he can walk through. The other one, the laser will turn on and kill him, and the one without the lasers is just going to stop him. If you remember, the floor will fold up. So I had, that was down 1. There's a reason why I've made these 2 blocks long. Simply because I'll show you in a second. So we had closing doors. That when Rage. So the reason why I've had to make this 2 blocks long is I needed a second command block here for the closing doors, because if he jumps across this block, you can manage to land on the second closing door before it closes, and then because you're no longer in the command block, it then will open again and allowing you to continue, unless it's trigger once, but I wanted it to close and reopen. So use it to multiple triggers so it would reopen. Hence why this is so that one block is elongated. Now the next trap consists from this was a tooler. Damn, I've already messed this up. Okay, let's just make the roof bigger. This chamber was actually, you can see I've only made it 1 block lower. I made it the drop a bit bigger, so I'm going to have to just make the roof a bit bigger here, because I haven't done it all the way. There we go. Right, so here, another well-known chamber. To get to the next chamber, you need to pass through this gap. Let's just take this down for the next chamber. Let's make this bigger. This one needs to go quite some that way. There we go. So I'll make this bigger in a minute. Let's do it now. Right. So here we had our death lasers. In fact, death laser. Let's add 3 of those. So there's 3 death lasers, and we had, I believe it was 4 buttons. Buttons. 1, 2. Actually, no, I believe it was 5. Just to really screw Rage over. These were back here. Now this is the puzzle that might break Rage, so I hope he doesn't rage quit at this point, because this is only half through the map, and there's still a lot more to come. I had 3. Oops. Let's not do that again. Let's do it that way. 3 jumpers. Right, now this puzzle, the cube. Now before, I've changed this around again. So before, when you saw this puzzle before, changing the cube on the block changed the position of the lasers, and on the other side here, I've made this lower. It was actually the same height, and there are. I can't actually remember how I done this. Oh, that's right. No, this whole section was +1, like so. That was it. So it was +2 actually. It was +2. There we go. So I had the kill lasers that Rage can't see over here. So I actually had kill lasers. I also had fizzlers just in case you send the cube over, so it would reset. So I had both fizzlers and kill lasers. Let's just use that to the kill lasers. Now, so previously I've had 2 versions of this trap in one map just to frustrate Rage, and one of them you had to put the cube onto the correct button to deactivate the correct lasers to move across. The second one, just to be ironic, the cube was on the correct button, which he moved and tested every other button until he decided to go back to the one the cube was originally on. Now this one, in fact, none of these are going to be correct. The way to solve this puzzle is just to take the cube off and not have it on the button. Once doing so, now when the cube is off, it will look like all of these 3 lasers are on, but I have put some trigger inputs. This is why I'm hoping he'll get brave and second guess it. So when he jumps through on one of these plates And he also needs to figure out the correct plate to jump on as well. So not only needs to figure out to take the cube off, he needs to figure out the correct plate to jump on, because some of these buttons will deactivate, say, the lower laser, then allowing you to jump on the plate that will send you through the lower section, so you'll survive, but then you'll die on the second laser. And the same with another plate. You can move a cube to the middle plate, so you can go through the middle plate. But again, it won't deactivate the last laser, so the only way to deactivate these lasers behind here is to take the cube off and then jump at the wall of lasers, which will deactivate automatically on the cube. So I'm hoping he's going to figure that out, that he just needs to jump at the wall of lasers without the cube on there and the top, because hopefully he'll realise after jumping for the top laser or jumping on the wrong one with this laser on that it will disable, and he just needs to deactivate the lasers afterwards. So that is the kind of the second chamber. They are both from the Mousetrap. I think they're both from the Mousetrap. We had a similar. It was odd because we had board games, and I created Mousetrap, and then his genre for next week was traps. So there was either this might have been from Trapped. I believe they were both from Mousetraps, though, but they are both from previous games. Now this was one of my favourite puzzles. This is from the first map I ever sent Rage that he played. So we've got my first winning map. We've got probably just one of my favourite maps, the Tower of Frustration, which at the time I actually didn't win, although Tower of Frustration 2 did win. We've got Mousetrap. That was my first winning map, and this is probably just one of my favourite traps. This is what started me off wanting to kill Rage so much. Was this trap and the way he fell for it so well. Okay, so right, let's set this one up. It went something like this. So we had. Oh, no, that was down. Yeah, something like that. And there was a faith plate. And you could see. Let's just move that there. Yeah, I think this was all. That was raised up. Yeah. So you could clearly see there was a faith plate jumping across to here. So there was a door. I've actually got the door right in the corner here. Let's just copy the door from up here. So. He could see that he required a cube to open this door. A cube, and he could clearly see that there was a cube over here, and there was also a faith plate over here to send you back to the beginning. Now you could clearly see these targets show up on the ground, so you would walk along here, go, look, faith plate, that sends me over to the target area here. I will grab the cube and jump on the faith plate back. But this is what started off. This was originally a trap that when he jumped on this faith plate, it opened up some doors above him, which sent Rage all the way back to the beginning of the map. But that was the first time I think I've seen Rage that frustrated. And since then, that's kind of what my maps have consisted of. Now, if Rage remembers this trap, what he had to do was he just needed to jump over this faith plate to find the hidden faith plate, which was in a gap, hidden by a hidden wall. So, in fact, I need to bring these back. And let's need to duplicate one of those. Nope. Nope. Wrong button. That one. There we go. So this will start off as a hidden wall. Now, so originally the ceiling would opened up. So I also had hidden doors. Oh, up on the ceiling here. Did I mean to do that? That's what I meant. Right, so to confuse the hell out of Rage, the hidden faith plate that's in here. Now, see, I'm also hoping now Rage will remember, and he will remember my traps from previously, so he will see the same trap as before. He'll see the faith plate and go, ah, that's not the right faith plate. He'll jump on, the secret doors here will open from a trigger input once which he has to walk over. Now these doors here above, I've set to open early, so I've put a trigger input here which will have to walk past, so they should open and he should spot them opening. Now these just actually lead to nowhere. I think I've put a faith plate up there like so, just so it looks like it's going to send him back to the beginning. So this is actually going to be this time this is going to be the correct faith plate. Last time this would reset him, so hopefully he's going to jump over here, go to the hidden faith plate, and the hidden faith plate is actually the one that is going to reset him all the way back to the beginning of the map. Which I shan't. I just basically have to build some corridors to send him back. So I won't show you guys all of that. But this faith plate here is going to send him back to the beginning of the map, which Rage is going to think or believe is the correct hidden one. So I'm hoping he's going to jump this, think, yeah, fuck you Inferno, I know what your traps are like, come to the hidden faith plate and get reset, and then have to come all the way back just to jump on this faith plate which he jumped over in the first place. So I'm really hoping he remembers this and jumps over, because he's going to be trying to second guess. He's going to think it's a trap and go no, because he'll see these doors open and think it's going to set him back to the beginning. So that was the third kind of, well, no, 1, 2, 3, that's the fourth trap, and then we moved down to the fifth trap, but not final, don't you worry. Right, this one was a lot more simpler. This was from my Tower of Frustration 2 map. Oh, was it? I think it was like so. And no, I didn't. Well, I've gone the wrong way with this. Alright, this is a bit backwards. I fall down here. The chamber is actually off to the right hand side, not the left, but I've gone off to the left hand side. But just to give you the gist, I'm going to build this reversed basically now. I think the trap that frustrated him most in my Tower of Frustration 2 was with the wah 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 beam and the button pushing on the wall. Now again, Rage is going to be second guessing, thinking that these are all going to be, some are going to be trapped, some aren't going to be trapped. So I have got my wah 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 beam with the lasers. Let me just grab a laser. I'll get a new laser. As type, death laser. Now, needs a platform to go stand on. Now, previously, some buttons you had to push, some lasers would turn off automatically. So the fact that Rage is going to be trying to second guess, he's going to be going, I'll push that button, that will turn the laser off. I'm not going to push that button. So in fact, for this trap, again, this is why for some people this level is going to seem really easy, is every button is just going to turn the laser off. So the fact that Rage is going to not push the button, trying to second guess it, which is going to demise in his own death. So if you think a lot of these traps are actually, bar this one here, a lot of these traps are fairly easy. The first one, you just need to choose the correct button that doesn't look like it's going to kill you. These two traps are a bit down to pot luck, and this one's going to be a bit difficult to figure out. This one, if you just choose the first pressure plate you come across, it's going to take you to the cube so you can move on. However, if he tries to second guess it, he's going to end up resetting to the beginning. And the wah 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 beam, you literally just need to push the buttons to turn the lasers off. Now, because he's going to be second guessing, thinking I don't need to push the buttons, that's what's going to make it even more. So this is not only this is my best of, it's kind of my trying to outthink Rage. So he's either going to just not realise it's one of my maps and manage to smash his way through it and just completely boss it up, or I really hope he's going to second guess. Now I've got my final. There's only one more trap and a final chamber, which I am going to leave. But I'll just put. Where did I put the exit? Oh, there's the exit. So I just put the exit down here for now. So oh. So if you want to see the final chamber, basically this final chamber, there's well, I can show you the last. I have my classic. I don't really use anymore because he's always trying to second guess it. I like to try to kill him differently, but I've done my classic hidden eye level laser. Now there's a reason for this, because every time he will guess my eye level laser. He always crouches. I think he'd rather crouch and get caught by something else than get caught by the eye level laser. So I know some people find this annoying that I do my eye level laser, but there's a reason for this week, which is why I've tried to be killing him in different ways. Which I think I've only ever used the eye level laser. I think twice really actually in all my maps. Once at the beginning of Tower Frustration 2, just to be frustrating, and I think I've used it twice at the end of one of my maps. So I've actually not used it as much as people think. But this time I have a reason for it. Every time he guesses it and doesn't get caught by it, nearly every time he's done it, he's gone through and gone, yeah, fuck you, Inferno, fuck you. So in the next chamber, it's just big with some writing on the wall, and I'm hoping he's going to do that. He's going to guess it, he's going to go into the laser, he's going to say fuck you, and on the walls it's just a big chamber with some writing on the walls, so hoping he's going to say that, because if he doesn't say that, what I've got written on the walls might not make too much sense. So again, kind of second guess Rage. So if you want to see the final chamber, tune into Rage's channel, which will be in the link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this week's build. Well, you could actually see some of what was on the final chamber in my start menu. It just said Vote Inferno, so there's a message as well as Vote Inferno. So yeah, guys, don't forget to vote. Vote for whoever you think has the best map. To be honest, I've actually Lincoln Yellow and Lepoy and Eunice Jet have all added me on Steam, so I've been talking to them. Lepoy's map. Lepoy was the chap who done the awesome Portal. Not Portal. We're in Portal. The awesome Minecraft map in Portal, which I think is definitely going to be winning this week, just because it looks amazing. I've played his map through. He actually sent me his map, and he's played this map through already. So we've both played each other's maps. Be interesting. I did enjoy his map. His map was it's kind of, I've done the best of. He's done a tribute of kind of a best of. Everyone who I just mentioned, all of our styles put together, which was really quite cool. So I think you guys will enjoy that as well. So just vote for whatever you think's best. Obviously mine is, come on guys. But yeah, remember to vote, and I'll see you next time.